welcome to the diaries. Ran out of breath there for a second. Today is January the 3rd of the new year, 2023. And although there will be a little bit from Christmas on this video is basically starting right now. First of all, I got some happiness going on because my one of the mechanics where I work has retired. What does that mean? Well, it means I finally get more hours.
Well done.
We have a 3-man team now, and I am getting actually a 2-man team and a part-timer, and I am going to be getting regular hours for the first time in ever. So I'm very excited about that. Income is a joyous thing. So that's happiness number one. Happiness number two, I found out that my rent is going to go up. We all know rent's going to go up, but it's not supposed to go up more than about $50. If it does that, Darkslade man there remains standing for another year. Standing, I say, for another year. So that's happiness number two. Happiness number three is the band is getting very close to getting ready to gig, and we should have a gig in March and possibly more than one. So that's very exciting and happy making too. Happiness number four is I got my game, of course, the first game released, and I'm working on the second one, and it's going to go a heck of a lot faster than the other one to make it, because I'm not going to switch game engines in the middle of production or anything along those lines like I did twice with the other one. So that's a happiness there too. And just kind of feeling good at this moment. Subject to change without notice, but right now I'm doing pretty good. Now, what am I going to do in this episode? I'll tell you. We're going to be this is kind of with happiness number 5, which is also not the happiest happiness in number 5. But we have another keyboard coming. Yes, I did it again. My Sweetwater bill, my payments stay the same, but my bill gets larger or longer. But I have a new keyboard coming, which is going to sit on top of the other keyboard. So our keyboardist can switch voices on the fly, and also switch styles on the fly as well. But what that means is the synthesizer is no longer going to be on top of the keyboard. So I have to make a stand for the synthesizer. So that's number 1 on the list. New stand for the synthesizer. Obviously, we're going to be working on some new music because it's found on the keyboard. Yes, sir. I love to do it, man. Just, yeah. So that's going to be happening on this episode. Now, the big news, well, somewhat big news, and you may have already figured this out, and I may have even mentioned it before, but Kid Stuff Films is done. I am completed done with Kid Stuff Films. I don't have the time, I don't have the cast, and so the end of Kid Stuff Films, I'm going to be releasing the films themselves for another couple of months before I shut that system down. That being said, Kid Stuff Films is going bye-bye. Kid Stuff Games is making the big hello. And we'll see how things go with that. I am going to put up a site for it. It'll probably be in the site of the old Kid Stuff Film site. And I will be updating the YouTube channel for that very, very soon. Also, we'll be updating the Facebook page for Kid Stuff Games. There is one, if you did not know. And I will be closing down the other pages for that. So that's some busy work right there. But I'm not going to share that while I'm doing it with you. I just told you what was happening, and there you go. Also have some work on the Pirate's Porch in this episode. I put the I didn't put the, because I didn't get to put the yet. When I get to putty, I'll tell you what that is all about. But I pulled all the, is what I meant to say, what I started to say. I pulled all the, not putty, but pulled all the Christmas stuff off, and it has been put away. And you know what I didn't do this year? This is the only downer on this video. I didn't do this year. I didn't do zoo lights. I didn't get out to the trains, and I never even set up my tree. I had 5 little tiny trees outside, but I didn't set up my tree this year because I just didn't have room. Part of this year's project is downsizing. I have a 2-year plan, which I'll talk about on another episode probably, or else much later in this one, on what's going to happen between now and when I turn 67, which is in 2025. Yeah. So, but how I'm going to do it, I'm going to share with you as it's being done. It ought to be pretty amazing, if not totally boring. Anyway, that's going to be coming up. But let's get started with this episode now, shall we? Okay, without any further ado, or don't, well, let's get going. I'm going that way to start. That's why I'm looking there. It's Christmas Eve, and I decided to open my gift from my daughter. She sent me 3 things. 2 of them I opened earlier, and one of them I waited till Christmas Eve. Alright, so in this package was my peppermint bark. I love my peppermint bark. Only get it at Christmas time. I don't know why. I think she sent me this. I had been completely dumbfounded what this is. First I thought, that's an awfully big garter, which I don't wear. I thought, did she send me something dirty? Is this something dirty but it's got Haunted Mansion on it? Wouldn't be endorsed. It's something nasty and yeah. Figured out it's the steering wheel cover. So yeah, I feel kind of stupid, but I'm going to put it on my car right now. Okay, to start making this stand that I'm going to do, which I have all planned out in my head, which does not put it in a good place, but we got to run down, or I got to run down to Home Depot and pick up a little PVC. There's another project I need to do, and that'll go most likely in this episode. But if you look, see how I started to point this way, and then if you look over my shoulder here, you'll see that my Funko display went plop. It went Funko. So I got to come up with a better way to display them bad boys. I mean, a lot of them are up there, but they're not all standing up, and they're not all there, too. Some of them are laying around. And yes, I do not keep the boxes. I know a lot of Funko collectors, oh my God, how could you do that? You need the boxes because we need a piece of cardboard that was manufactured. We don't care about the inside, we want the cardboard box. Yeah, I don't keep those. And if I had bought one and I discovered that it was $2,500 pop, and the box is pristine, well, that $2,500 pop ain't going to be worth that much because I'm pulling it out of the box and I'm going to crush the box many, many times, probably where lots of people can see it, and put my Funko on display. Because that's how I roll. Boxes, they don't mean nothing to me. Except for the boxes. Hold it. I'm not doing that yet. That being said, however, I do have boxes coming in. I have 2 coming in this week, so we will get to those 2. Anyway, we got to go down, or I got to go down. I keep saying we because I'm not taking you this time. I am going to go down there right now to Home Depot and get the PVC. One other thing while I'm thinking about it. Going to go online, get a new tripod. This poor tripod, it's about as tall as a 2-year-old now. And every time I use it, I have to prop it up on something. And I can't use it in the car. It won't stand up anymore. So that's another project. Or that's another expense, I guess. All right. So it's time for me to go get some Civic parts. The world can be pretty weird sometimes. Case in point, back in January of 2020, somewhere between November of 2019 and January 2020, there was a fraud suit against Equifax for breach. Somebody had got into there, blah, blah, blah. It's a long story. Everybody knows about it who has anything to do with Equifax. So anybody who had any information through Equifax, they were suggested to file a claim. And depending upon how the court ruled, would determine if you got a payout. Well, I got one. It came today. 2 years later. Came today. Check it out. That's $5 and something. $5.21. I have a check, which probably cost $8 to process. I have a check for $5.21. What am I going to do with all this money? All of a sudden I am rich. I'm flush. I don't know. $5.21. 2 years. This sounds a lot like that bass guitar I didn't get that sat around wherever it was for a year and a half. Here I have a check for $5.21. Wow, see, you gotta file those things, because if you don't, you'll never be able to cash a monster check like this in your lifetime. Okay, I got my 3/4 inch here, and we want it to be about 3 feet tall as far as the tube is concerned. Yeah, so it would probably be real eyes wide open. Yes, it would probably be a very wise idea if I had a pen to mark this with. And I should, right here. I should, but I don't. Hello, I have returned. Okay, so 3 feet. What's it at? Oh, there. Now I have to cut. It snapped me in the fingertip. Now I have to cut this to size. And I just remembered that I have to bowl tonight. So, dadgummit. And then tomorrow, I'm playing bass for another group. Waiting for Waffles is still yes. I'm doing this just for myself, so I can play with some, you know, do a little different kind of stuff that we're doing in Waiting for Waffles. But so that cuts that cuts some time out of the day tomorrow too. So let me take both of these. I'm going to take them out to the workbench, cut them to size, and then start putting it together. And what I think I might do is I'll probably, if I design this the way I'm thinking, I won't need to totally glue it together. I'll need to glue together, you know, PVC cement. The top part and the bottom part. And the rest should be okay to go as it is. So, here we go. Okay. Let's see if I get the basic idea here. So, I need maybe one of these. It's going to take a bit to get them on too. Okay. And then we need, where are you? But I knew that was going to happen. One of these. Okay. I need one of these. And I left the tiny ones outside. Go me. Well, it's a little early in my day, but I have a box. boxes here. I know what this is, and I ordered it yesterday. So it's here today, which is pretty darn quick. And this, believe it or not, is something for Darkslade Diaries. Check it out. And I'm hoping that the quality on this is going to be pretty good. I better keep this out because there's probably a box inside of a box. It's not a box inside of a box. It's a bag inside of a box. Hello? Nothing else in there. You may be able to tell what this is. I don't know. From this bag. It is a new tripod. That's right. I have griped about this one long enough. And let's see. All the legs work on it. Only 1.5 on my tripod right now works. Oh, I didn't extend them all the way. Silly me. Maybe that's why my tripod doesn't work, because I didn't open it up all the way. As I knock it over. Yeah, this will be fine. Now this isn't the same quality as my original tripod. But when I got my original tripod, I could afford to get something really, really good. This is perfect for what I need. This is perfect, and I'll tell you a couple of reasons why. One, it's lightweight. It seems sturdy enough. You know, mine wiggles a bit too. Actually, mine has a tendency of so that's a bonus on this one. But this one contracts down really small to, you know, about this high, which will be great for when I am out on the road or when we go out on the road. This will work a lot better than this beast that's running right now, that when you open the legs, they go all over the universe because they're really big. So, and it doesn't shrink down that small. So let's put the camera on here and see how well it holds up. Alright, well, it works fine. It goes up higher. Thank goodness for that. And here's the old one, famous in song and story that you've heard so much about. Now this one is a QSX 7001DX. This is a high quality, very sturdy tripod that broke. Now, if it is so high quality, down she goes. If it is so high quality and so sturdy, why am I getting rid of it? Why did it break? Well, I'll show you right here is where one of the breaks is. See how that's taped up? This whole unit falls out and this won't retract or go up. This is obviously not connected to anything anymore. This tripod that I've been using is, see, it's 2023 now. So this is a 15-year-old, almost 16-year-old tripod. It has done its service. Now, I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm still going to use it, but I'm not going to use it for, you know, like the diaries and things like that. If I have something that needs to be shot from a specific height, from a specific angle, that requires it to be sturdy, or if I'm filming outside during a hurricane, then I can still use this one. I just can't put it up very high. But everything else, I've got the new tripod and we'll be using it. So we'll put this away. This is the other thing. Because this leg is messed up, it doesn't retract any shorter than this. So yeah, that's a problem. I have another box. This is part of 2 packages that are showing up. I got very excited about those 2 packages. You know, let's take my phone out of my pocket before I accidentally dial somebody. So what's in this box is going to seem kind of, well, why do you have that part? But it's the other part that's coming in. And the reason I've been, you know, working on some new devices. This is a good knife. I actually pulled it first this time. You don't know where this is coming from because there's no writing on it. Alright, here we go. Let's put you right there for the time being. You guys leave it alone, right? Here we go. Got it. Yep, this is open. Yep, this is open. This is a unique style of... Wow, everything's on top of it. There we go. Dream! Oh, this is a dirty trick. Every one of these chambers is connected together, so you can't pop it. You have to pop the whole thing, like that. Alright, well, what's in here? There's a bag of candy. I wonder where this came from. Well, it does not have any Smarties in it, so that's a bad start. Alright. Got the thank you thing here. Alright, here is a piano chords wall chart. It's a little smaller than I was expecting. But this is going to go over the keyboard so our keyboardist can learn the chords that they need to play and be able to get to them quicker. So that's part 1. This is a 1/4-inch cable connector to plug 2 1/4-inch cables in together, which we need for using the mixer and so forth. Put that right there. This is a mono interconnect Norm Tab 7. Yeah. Mono interconnect 1/4-inch TS to 3.5 millimeter TRS cable. This is important for the device that is coming. And then this is a splitter that splits 1/4-inch. 1/4-inch splitter. Splits from 1/4-inch into 2 1/4-inch. This is important for the same device. So everything here is for the same device that's coming. This is a pretty big box for these 3 little things, but shove it in there. And it pops open anyway! Okay. Now I've seen a bigger one of these, and I thought this was the bigger one. But since Ash's eyes are better than mine, you should have no problem reading this. I'll put it right over the keyboards. This is, the other device that's coming is the second keyboard. A second keyboard. Now you know if you watch that there's 2 keyboards that Ash uses, but one of them is, you know, a keyboard, and the other one is the synthesizer. So we have a second keyboard coming in, which is going to sit on the stand on top of the first keyboard. You may already know this because I don't know what order I'm putting these videos together in. But, so this is the stuff I need. Now, tomorrow, I'm supposed to get the keyboard. I hope so. I really do. And I hope it shows up kind of close to the same time because I have to work tomorrow evening. And I have to sign for these things because lesson learned. However, there will be a reckoning for no Smarties in this bag. No Smarties. What's in here? They threw in fruit chew in place of Smarties. No, you don't do that. Smarties are specific. You tell them. Smarties are specific. I ask for them by name. Bill and Julie Smarty. And I'm getting into it. I'm not even supposed to have these, so maybe it's a good thing there's no Smarties in here. Here's a Tootsie Roll, bit of honey, a mint. One of these freaking things that nobody ever eats. Oh well. So that's what came in that box today. Now I get to walk out to the garbage to dispose of the box. Alright, modification on this thing. Instead of the front end sloping down so the keyboard is at an angle, I'm going to keep it flat because it's designed to be that way. I also made some changes now. These are the ones that I got, the corners that I got that turned out to be shredded. So I replaced these, or I am replacing these. Let's see. With, not with those, not with that. With something, I'm replacing them with something. Here we go. I have to hold this up because it's got a few pieces that are standing up. So anyway, corner piece. And I'm going to have to cut two more long pieces. Well, that's funny. Two more long pieces for this. And where is... It's all behind me now. There. So that makes the base sturdy. Now I have to cut two more of these because I'm putting two more of these in there to give it support. Now, I went to the hardware store across the way, to Ace Hardware. They had these for basically $6 a pop, $5.99. I said, hold the cheese, I ain't paying that much for these because I needed 4 of them. You know, and 24 bucks. This is a little pricey, it's a lot pricey. So I went over to Home Depot where I normally get my stuff, and they were $4.50. Still expensive, but Jiminy Christmas, $6 a pop? No, thank you very much. You'll do fine elsewhere. So, okay, we've reached the final part of. Boy, I got a lot of boxes. This is the last. It should be the last one coming. I see it was packaged by the Mortimer Snurd Company because it's got some weird stuff going on. We're gonna have here on the table. Well, I'm done. It's a big box. This is for the band. So it comes out of the band fund. Didn't know the band had a fund. Yeah, we do. The only difference between the band fund and my personal funds is there is no difference. I pay on both of them. Anyway, the band fund gets a little income from our Patreon, which allows us to get some of this stuff. Okay. Well, that was unexpected. package of candy with no Smarties again. I'm going to quit doing business with these guys. And then we got the obligatory thank you. Not a thank you, but a thank you. Which means I have another Sweetwater sticker. Where's your... Oh, now move some. All right. This is a Casio tone keyboard. Now have a clear tape thing. Stop very carefully pull that out. Woo-hoo! Like the texture on those keys. Can you hear it? Oh, you have no idea what I just played. I have no idea what I just played, but I doubt it was anything good. Anyway. And there is the full setup right there. Now the synthesizer stand has got a top that goes on it. I'll show you that in a still picture in just a second. But there it is, all set up, all three keyboards. I have many, many keyboards. Well, we come to that time of year, that magical, wonderful, mystical time of year where I find out what my rent for the next year is. Went outside, found it on the door.
Cool.
And it only went up 25 bucks. 25 bucks! I can do that! I can deal with that. And so it's a happier time of year than usual at this time of year because it didn't go up, 200 and some odd like it did last year, or 300 and some odd, whatever it was. 200 and some odd. In any case, it's somewhat odd, so, who can tell? Anyway, so I'm very, 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 very pleased that I do not have to shell out another $175, $200 a month. Just 25 bucks. I can do that. 25. Who would have thought? Not me. Absolutely not. Okay, so that was some good things that happened today anyway. You want an idea on how realistic these coins look? Check this out. Just around the corrosion. Oh, yeah. Here's the coin. Oh, I'm very close. Here's the coin. Coin is plastic, and it left a rest mark on it for it. That's funny. What do you suppose this is? You know what it is. It's a piece of junk mail. It's a loan offer or something. But it's one of those that's in the tearaway envelope and says to the order of and so forth. I don't know if anybody from financial institutions of anywhere of any kind has ever watched Darkslade Diaries. Probably not, because we don't exactly have a plethora of subscribers. But if by some miracle chance you catch this, let me help you out. You're not fooling anybody with this. Okay? Well, all right, maybe you were fooling a few, real naive people, but if you want people to open this and actually read into it, this is what you don't do. You don't put a thing, first of all, you don't use a windowed envelope. You don't put a thing in there that looks like a check that does not have the word pay on it, just to the order to. You certainly don't put financial document enclosed. And you don't put personal confidential. Now let me explain why you don't put those things in. First of all, to the order of doesn't mean diddly squat, and everybody knows it. Secondly, financial document enclosed is not something you want to put on something that goes to the first class mail. Because somebody sees that and they know what it is, they're going to take it. They're going to steal it. Same thing with putting something that looks like a check in a window. And thirdly, personal and confidential, opened by addressee only. That's what they put on collection agency notices. All right? So what you're doing are these things. This is why someone's not going to look at this. They know it's not real because you have A, put in a fake check that says to the order of, B, marked that it's a financial document. I mean, that's just crazy. That just basically, if this was really a check, you don't want to advertise that it's a check. You want to not have people think it's a check, because anybody from a corrupt mailroom person to someone in your business mailroom or the neighbors or whatever sees that and assumes that there's money in there, they're going to take it. Okay? It's not so much you're going to take it, it's the person you addressed it to knows that if it was like that, someone would probably take it. So, my advice, for what it's worth, if you're going to send somebody a loan application, send it in a business envelope. Send it just, like a business correspondence. Don't try to trick them into thinking there's money in there, because there isn't, and we all know it. Here's a good example of what I'm talking about. Now this is torn open, but this is, remember that big $5.50 check that I got for the that class action suit against whatever it was? This is the envelope it came in. Okay? Now it says up here, forwarding services requested. That's it. That's all it says. Forwarding services requested. And you say, oh yeah, but look at that big window. It'll show you what's in there. No, because the check was covered. And all that was here was the address. There was no indication that there was any money in here. Okay? There's no indication at all. Alright, that's going to be the end of this episode. I filmed some more stuff when I started working out on the Pirate's Porch. But this episode got too long. It's taking too long to get out, so I'm going to put it out there. And the other stuff that I started working on the porch with, I'll put on the next episode. This episode is over and finished. Next episode, it's going to be Pirate's Porch work. I'm going to be working on a new game. I will give you some insight into that. We do have some music coming up, of course. I'm working, aside from waiting for Waffles, I'm also helping out another group that needed a bass player. And I'm not putting myself in saying I am a member of the band. I am a member of some of the background for the band. Okay, so it's not, I'm not including myself in it. The members of the band are the two main people who put it on. It's really good stuff too, especially if you're into classic rock, older classic rock and so forth. So that's going to be happening. And one of my plants, okay, keep in mind my plants are not real, right? One of them has wilted. Now, it takes quite a bit to have a plastic plant wilt, but I think that freaking cat might be back and been jumping on my porch again, because the plants kind of looks like so. Well, anyway. So next episode we will do more of that stuff. In the meantime, my heater will come on, and you guys have yourselves a great couple of weeks. End of line.